Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Yeah.
What's up, sports fans? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. We got a lot to talk about today. For some reason, there you are.
All
What
right.
happened there? He was here. But I got a lot to talk about today. NBA free agency exploded yesterday. USC and UCLA moving to the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten needs to change their name, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah.
Called the Big Ten, but now you're going to have 16 teams. Okay.
Yeah, might as well say Big 16. Big 16.
But then, not only a lot of people getting paid, some guys getting paid. I don't think this should be getting paid yet. Then you have guys demanding trades, and so it's been a wild day in sports yesterday. After about 3:00 Eastern, things just started picking up.
Yeah, it did. Kevin Durant no longer wants to be in Brooklyn. So.
Yeah, Durant. That came across my screen about 3:15 yesterday. I was getting ready to do my sports betting show, and I look up and Durant demanded or requested trade. I'm like, what?
After all that.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere to me because I figured the only way they were going to lose Durant is if Irving left.
Right. Now, I know some people are saying that Brooklyn's plan was to trade Kyrie anyway. If that was what was going on, then I can see why KD wants to be traded. It looks like he wants to go as a package deal, him and Kyrie to, somewhere. So a lot of people are saying the Lakers. KD to Phoenix, I heard. That would be interesting because I'm sure the Phoenix Suns would take KD, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't take Kyrie Irving. So
yeah, from what I've been reading, I don't know if they'll be going to the same team because of Irving's salary. With him opting in, whatever team he's going to, that's $37 million. So a lot of teams aren't going to want to spend that on a player that they don't know if they'll be able to re-sign for next season.
Right.
Or you really don't want to say, yeah, we'll do a sign and trade and sign him to a new deal. Because look what he done this year. He didn't hardly play, so you don't. Yeah, I've heard the same thing about Durant. He wants to go to Phoenix or Miami. Is what I've heard about Durant.
Yeah, I can see both of those.
You're going to have to give up so much to get Durant, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Phoenix, they are in a win now mode. So they want to win now. So getting KD would definitely help. Help the Suns.
Yeah.
What would you then? I guess if you're Phoenix as well, do we let Chris Paul go to get Kyrie Irving, which Kyrie Irving is younger than Chris Paul, but at the same time, we saw how Kyrie had a good game one against Boston, and then didn't do nothing for the rest of the series. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still hearing strong rumors about Irving going to the Lakers. So
That one I've heard, yes.
I'm still
Yeah,
hearing strong rumors about that. So, but that would still mean that the Nets would have to take on Russell Westbrook.
yeah,
And
they would have to
I
get
just don't know
rough.
if the Nets want to do that. It didn't make a lot of sense because right before this all happened, the Nets went out and signed Royce O'Neal.
Yeah, Royce O'Neal, yeah.
So I mean, by doing that, it don't make it seem like they're in some kind of tank mode or anything. They don't see it, so they're going to try to get enough back from Durant that they still think they can at least compete.
Yeah, compete. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, where KD.
What's going to happen is KD's going to end up back with the Warriors.
That would be very interesting.
Hey guys, I shouldn't have left. But let me come
Yeah, I
back.
should have left. Yeah,
Let me come back and get a couple more rings with you fellas.
right. Yeah. Damian, thanks for telling us that. I didn't know about that trade right there. Kevin Huerter to the Kings.
For Justin Holiday.
And Mo Harkless, okay, decent. That's a decent trade.
I like what Atlanta's doing so far, in free agency.
Oh yeah.
Bringing in Murray, and then so I mean, yeah, their backcourt's going to be tough.
Yep.
Trade KD back to the Warriors. That's what I would do.
Well, if they did that, so if that did happen, then the Warriors would be giving up Justin Poole and a couple other pieces, I would think, in order for that to happen.
Maybe even Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
And the Warriors just lost. They just lost two of their pieces that were pretty good contributors with Otto Porter Jr. and Walter Payton II.
Oh, they both left.
Yeah, Otto Porter is signing with the Raptors, and Gary Payton II signing a 3-year, $28 million deal with Portland.
Oh wow!
The Warriors offered Payton the mid-level exception or whatever, and Portland must offer him more at $28 million, 3 years, $28 million. So, especially losing. Don't get me wrong, losing Otto Porter Jr. hurts a little bit, but I mean that's somebody you can bring in another solid player. But losing Payton II, I think hurts him a little more because of his prowess on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. He plays good defense. I guess he figured, I already got my ring. I'll go to Portland and waste, 3 years there, and while I'm making some money. So, but of course, for the Warriors, you wanna keep everybody, but some people are gonna they're gonna want to get paid, and Gary Payton wanted to get his money, which is good, So I feel bad for him because he's going to Portland. So,
and with the Warriors, they're not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Peyton II and Otto Porter Jr. are good players. Don't get me wrong, but they're not losing none of their top contributors. So
right.
It's easier to replace a guy like Gary Payton II or Otto Porter Jr. than it's going to be to replace a guy like Steph or Andrew Wiggins or even Poole at this point, since he's starting to play a little better. So you can find some bench pieces that fit in good with you to help you. But
yeah.
But I was kind of surprised just on Gary Payton II because I really thought they would do a little bit more to try to keep him. I thought Otto Porter Jr. might be gone, but I really thought they would keep Gary Payton the second.
Yeah. Me too. I thought he was gonna stay, but a lot of times it's hard, especially
Hey, like we said yesterday, somebody puts that contract in front
yeah,
of
they
him
put
for
that contract there.
like $28 million. It's like, okay.
Okay, yeah. So as much as he wants to win, of course, you wanna you wanna make the money that you feel that you're worth too. So he feels like he was worth the 28, and that's why he ended up going to Portland. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike? And then
Mike.
Bradley Beal signed the max extension with the
Oh
Wizards.
yeah, that's ridiculous. Bradley Beal wasted everybody's time. If you wanted to go back to the Wizards, then you just should have did that instead of doing all the. But but like I said, I hope he enjoys that money because Washington's not winning nothing. So
No, they're not ever going to build nothing around them.
No. It was I forget how much it was now, 251 million or something like that, 261. Enjoy all of that, Bradley Beal. Because you're not going to win no championships in Washington.
No, I don't. I'm trying to think. There's some other. Who else was it? Oh, Jalen Brunson is going to the Knicks, a 4-year, $104 million contract. Knicks went all in on Jalen Brunson, and I just don't think that was the player you wanted to go all in on.
Jalen Brunson is not a $104 million player.
That's why the Knicks have been in the position they are for so long.
It's unbelievable.
Because they keep what's unbelievable is they keep doing this. They keep going with the same type of strategy.
All right.
Let's go all in on a player, but you always go in on a player. You want to go all in like on a Julius Randle or a Brunson. If you're going to go all in on an established star, not one that you think's going on his way up. Because apparently your scouting department ain't very good because they keep telling you that these guys are on their way up, and they're not.
No, they're not. Jalen Brunson is a good player, but he's not a superstar player. He's not $104 million player. That's just wasting money. And the Knicks aren't in a position to be wasting money. They need to make sure that they have enough to get, the players that they need. And so now it's going to be the same thing. So now next season, they're not going to make the playoffs, or if they do, be a play-in or, something. But that's not – you're not going to win championships building your teams around Jalen, Brunson. So.
No. And then Zach LaVine signs max deal with the Chicago Bulls.
That one was interesting because it looked like he was not going to come back. It looked like Zach wasn't going to come back. Damien's happy about that. Zach LaVine is a good player, very good. So it definitely helps the Bulls that they were able to, keep him. Now I'll be interested to see what they do now for the rest of the team, because it's good that you keep Zach, but I mean, you're gonna need more than that to be able to get to where you're trying to go, which is, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals. So DeRozan is, still there. So I mean, you got your 1-2 punch, but at the same time, the Bulls need more.
Yeah. They need more, and the players they have, yes, they had a solid team last year, but they had a lot of trouble staying healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's good. I mean, the pieces are there. The Bulls are, still a very good team. It's just to get to that next level, they're gonna have to add some. They're gonna have to add some pieces in there.
Yeah, because even with Caruso back, Lonzo Ball, if he's back, even with them guys back, they were still missing a piece or two last year, even if they could stay healthy.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Caruso was there. That's
Yeah,
right.
Who's Drummond.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the pieces are there. Yeah, they need one more score. They need, somebody that can give them 35. So, but yeah, the Bulls are they're
Then
still a good team.
and and free agency's just getting started, so there's going to be some other big moves that happen that people wasn't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be especially when we find out where KD's going, because that's going to change a lot, because somebody's going to give up a bunch for him. But so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Mike, you might get your Kevin Durant to the Bulls dream that you've been wanting now. I know Mike's been wanting that KD to the Bulls thing, so maybe. Bulls
Damien
need
wants John Collins.
Yeah, he's good. John Collins is good.
Levine got 215 mil, 5 years, 215 million. Man.
That's a lot. He better play like a $215 million player.
John Wall's going to the Clippers, so that'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the thing that worries me about that is now you have your three best players are three of the most injury prone players in the NBA.
Yeah, that's all going to depend on how healthy can they stay throughout the whole season. How that's
Oh, come on, David. You know if Durant goes to the Bulls, you're gonna be a KD fan all of a sudden.
Hey, if he can drop 35, DeRozan do his 25. Hey,
Rob might even be back rooting for the Bulls.
Yeah, Rob.
KD goes there.
Yeah, Rob gonna come back. Gonna come back to the Bulls.
He'll be rooting for both. He'll be rooting for the Warriors and the Bulls in the finals. And then in some college news, USC and UCLA moving to the Big Ten as early as 2024. So that was kind of strange how quick that's going to happen, and it's going to be interesting. Like we were talking before, they call themselves the Big Ten. They already had 14 teams. Now we're up to 16. So LA might as well just add 4 more, make it the Big 20.
Yeah, Big 20. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting because not just like in football, because football, everybody's talking about that, but like you look in basketball, that's gonna be interesting too, because the style that the USC's and the UCLA's, that style of basketball played in that conference is a lot different than the style of basketball that you played in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see, is it going to be like UCLA and USC adapting more to the Big Ten style, or are we going to see more Big Ten teams switching to a more offensive style? So I think that'd be something interesting. I was told that the travel schedule is what's going to be kind of funny to me, but
that's a long bus ride.
It was a surprise. I didn't even know there was like conversation that they were talking about moving to the Big Ten, and I heard today that that Notre Dame might follow him and join the Big Ten.
And join, yeah. Notre Dame needs to join the conference. They should have been.
Well, they're in the ACC and everything but football.
Yeah, but yeah, everything but football. Yeah, so their football team, they need to be in a conference, because what they do is, by not being in a conference, they'll play some hard games and win those, and then they say, "Well, we went undefeated, so we deserve." And that's the whole thing happens every single year when it comes to the college football playoff. But USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten. It makes sense for them as far as money wise. They're gonna make more money, of course. But football, I don't know how that's gonna work out. SC has had their troubles the past, few years as far as losing games and not being what they once were. And UCLA hasn't been good in football and I don't know how long. And then basketball wise, I think they'll be fine. I think UCLA will still be good. USC with Andy Enfield as their coach, he's done, brought that program back up. So basketball wise, I think both will be fine. They will have to kind of get used to being in a more physical conference, because the Big Ten conference, that is the black and blue conference when it comes to basketball. So they have to get used to that, but I think they'll be fine. Football wise, that's probably where they're going to hurt, at least for the first few years, because they got to compete with Michigan, Buckeyes, Michigan State. So
Iowa's been pretty good last few years.
Been in football too, yeah. So, so football wise, I think it'll take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting how they're able to fit in. I think they'll be fine eventually. Like you said, I think it'll take a little bit of time in football. Like I said, basketball will be interesting just because of the different style, but I think it could force some of the other Big Ten teams to start playing more offensive than being so much defensive minded. We talked about it before. The Big Ten, that's why I think hurts them in the tournament, is they're more defensive minded, and plus they beat up on each other all year. But then you're more defensive minded, and you get in against these teams that can score 85, 90 points a game, and you're used to scoring 65 to 70.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to make that adjustment.
Yeah, it is. And I'm interested so their home games, once they're in the Big Ten, of course they're going to start later because, being out there, you would think they would start them at 12:30 West Coast time for those games, because I know Big Ten games usually start early. Those are the early kickoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure for those USC and UCLA home games, you don't want to start at 9 a.m. West Coast time. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have those games starting later on.
Yeah, probably move to like a 3 or 4 o'clock start time on the East.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. It makes the Big Ten more fun to watch, especially basketball wise, because now I think you are gonna see more of a offensive style now with those two joining. So maybe Big Ten games won't end 65-62 no more. Maybe they'll get to 80 and and things now. So
Well, another thing I think it'll affect is like you were saying the start times, but the fans, because that's one thing. Like with the Big East, you were all basically in that area, Midwest area, where a lot of fans would travel to go watch their teams. Well, there's not going to be. I would assume there's not going to be as many fans that are going to be able. If you're say an IU fan and they're playing UCLA in at UCLA,
yeah,
I think that's going to hurt some of your crowds because yes, you'll still get your UCLA crowd, but you're not going to get as many of the IU crowd
yeah,
as you would normally in a Big Ten game. Where if IU's going over to Iowa, you
yeah.
know, what I mean, they get a big following,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that'll hurt could hurt some of the in game attendance for some of those games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And now this move opens the door for other teams now. I believe it was Oklahoma that was talking about going to the SEC.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that now opens that door up, and you might see more big 12 schools thinking about joining other conferences too now. So,
Oh my goodness. Reading more about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
oh, okay.
They're saying that Durant hadn't had no contact with the Nets for like the last couple of weeks or whatever. He would. So I don't know what was all going on there.
Ooh. Oh, that's your first sign that somebody wants out. They won't even talk to you. Yeah, if they end up the place that makes the most sense is both Kyrie and KD going to the Lakers. And that would make Russ then go to Brooklyn, which I'm sure all Lakers fans would be happy for that. So
Pacers are trading Brogdon to the Celtics. I figured they were going to. That'd been a big room. Had been something that had been circulating the last week or two. Been talks about that.
Brogdon is a good player. The Celtics are getting a good one.
That's a good pickup for the Celtics because they need a point. They need a point guard, and he's a guy he takes care of the ball, don't turn it over a lot, but he also can shoot. So
yeah,
I think he'll be a good fit for him.
Oh yeah, very good pickup.
You know, Indiana just keeps losing everybody. So
yeah, they're pretty much starting over down there.
Yeah, well, after they got rid of Sabonis and people last year, LeVert, and it was like, man, but they did bring in Halliburton. I did like that pickup. I like Halliburton. So
Halliburton's good. Yeah,
we'll see what they can do. Hopefully, they can be better this year. Maybe injuries hurt us a lot last year as well, but I still think Miles Turner might end up being traded as well.
Yeah, they might end up Trent Turner. Yeah,
his name's been in trade talks for the last 3 seasons. It's like every year the Pacers are shopping Miles Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Then Damian said, "What do you think about the Lakers getting Lonnie Walker Jr.?" They need a lot more than that.
Yeah, they need more than If it stays like it is now with Russ still being there, they're gonna need more than Lonnie Walker Jr.
Anthony Price. I need to see this big trade, KD and Kyrie to the Lakers. I don't know how that's going to happen.
The only way it can is the Lakers giving up Russ. You might have to give up Anthony Davis
That's
too.
what I was going to say. AD's probably gone as well.
Yeah, you're gonna have to trade him too.
There's right no way the Nets are only taking Russell Westbrook and some draft picks for KD, for just KD, let alone KD and Kyrie.
But if I'm the Lakers, I wouldn't mind trading Anthony Davis.
Oh no, I'd trade Anthony Davis for Kevin Durant in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because he gets injured way too much. Anthony Davis gets injured way too much. So you might as well trade him. Trade Russ, who can't shoot, turns over the ball, and now you get two players that you can at least compete with. Nets don't. Nobody wants Westbrook. Nobody wants Portland. Portland don't even want him.
So you know it's bad when teams that are trying to rebuild don't want him.
Yeah. So
Lakers off them to the Pacers. I heard the Pacers laughed at him.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Westbrook is at a point in his career now. He's on the downside, and nobody wants to deal with it.
And it could very well work out where the Lakers can't find nowhere for Westbrook, and they're going to be stuck with them for this season.
Yep, they're gonna have to be stuck. The only way
happens, they're going to be in trouble because they're strapped so much on the salary cap.
Yeah.
With him that they're only going to be able to bring in basically lower level vet guys because they're not going to have no money to work with.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I don't mind that trade.
Oh, they got Daniel Tice. Okay. Well, the Pacers, at least they got somebody back. Daniel Tice is.
Yeah.
Daniel Tice is good. So.
I don't know how to feel about this Pacers rookie draft pick because when they drafted him, I'm like, okay, I think I like this pick because I remember watching him play some that maturing, but then dude comes out and calls out LeBron right out before he's even done anything in the league, saying he's got to prove to me how good he is. I'm thinking, dude, calm down.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah. Yeah, he's already talking.
Like you ain't even played in a summer league game yet.
All right.
LeBron going to show me how good he is. I'm like, he goes, I think I'm the best. I don't think there's nobody. I understand that. That's how a player needs to think.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
You don't have to go tell the world about it.
Exactly. Keep that to yourself.
Don't put no more pressure on yourself than what needs to be. And when you do things like that, then that's when the media is. As soon as you come out and you have a bad game, or you play one game against LeBron and he burns you, the media is going to be all over you about those comments you made when you got drafted.
Yep. Yeah. KD to Boston, that would be interesting. Now, if KD goes to Boston, anything short of winning a championship is going to be looked at as a failure. So he already gets mad when people blame him for everything else. So if they don't win the championship and he goes there and everybody blames him for it, that's another Twitter rant.
And my thing, if you're going to ask for a trade, what was the point of waiting until now? What was the point of waiting until the day of free agency started?
Right.
Why not? I mean, what was the difference between now and a week ago?
Right. Well, apparently, some people were saying that the Nets' plan was to trade Kyrie from the start before he even, opted in. And I'm like, well, I hope they communicated that to KD. Because
I would say they hadn't because, like I said, from what I'm hearing, there'd been no contact between KD and the Nets for a couple weeks.
Okay. if that's how it happened and they didn't let KD know that, I can see why he wants out.
And from what I'm hearing, I don't know if it was KD that it was Kate that they couldn't get a hold of KD, or they didn't reach out to or if they didn't reach out to me. No, I mean, I don't know which way it was.
Yeah.
But from what I was hearing, I kind of think it was KD. They couldn't get a hold of him or Kyrie, because it sounded like that they didn't have hardly no contact with either one of them for the last few weeks.
Okay. That's kind of,
which makes sense, because Kyrie, when he said he was opting in, hell, he told the Athletic. He told the Athletic before he told the Nets.
right. Yeah.
The Nets found out about it from the media.
Yeah, from watching it. Yeah.
So it makes that. I mean, that kind of makes sense that they hadn't had contact.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is another one of Kyrie's great plans that KD's going along with.
Have him say yes to coming back and then go get traded somewhere else. Oh boy.
I've heard rumors of that a lot too, Damien. KD to Memphis.
Yeah, that would be.
How much of that young team would you have to break up to get KD? But KD and Ja together.
Yeah, KD and Ja. Yeah, you would have definitely give up Brooks and Bain. Jackson will probably stay.
I'd give. I know that Brooks and Bain are two of your important players on that team, but I'd give them two up for KD.
Yeah, to give him a yeah. Yeah, you're right. Anthony is better off with KD is better off with Ben than Kyrie. Just let Kyrie lead. That's what I've been saying. I say you're not gonna win with Kyrie Irving, so just let him go, wherever he wants to go. And try your luck with Ben or whoever else comes to Brooklyn.
Yeah, I would have. It made more sense to tell the Nets, let Kyrie go. Let's try to bring in this player. Go after another star to bring in with you. Hopefully, you can get Ben Simmons back to playing and being committed, and the Nets wouldn't have been too bad of a team.
All right. I'm surprised nobody wants Donovan Mitchell. Like he said he would leave, Utah, and yet I don't hear his name in none of these possible trades.
Yeah, you haven't heard much. I mean, you haven't heard a whole lot about DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, that's another one. So it's like nobody wants to play with Donovan Mitchell. I'm not understanding. So
I know Donovan Mitchell wasn't happy after Snyder left. He made it known after Snyder left that he wasn't happy. So, and then him and Gobert hadn't had the best relationships either.
Right. Yeah.
And didn't Gobert come out and say it was either him or Mitchell?
Yeah. So far, the Jazz have not decided on that.
I don't know where Gobert thought he had the power to be saying that's him or somebody else. Dude, you're not. Don't get me wrong. You're not a scrub, but you're also not one of the big stars either. So
exactly.
You're good. You're great on defense.
I mean, yeah. That's it.
Other than that, you're just big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I think that's why they were thinking about, Utah was thinking about getting rid of Gobert, is because he's great on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, he just really don't fit in with that team.
No, he doesn't. He's an old throwback center from 90s and 80s. So he would have fit great back then. but now because the style of basketball is so different, you can't really, fit.
Djokovic advances to the round of 16 in Wimbledon.
Hey, look at that.
I
Get
was watching.
our Djokovic, Rafael matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, Serena lost in the first round. That was shocking.
Yeah. Lost never. She just made. She made too many unforced errors. I watched that. I watched that whole match actually, and she looked like in the second set, she took the momentum and it was going to take off with it. But I know at one point she made like 44 unforced errors,
Yeah,
and it's hard to win. It's hard to win at a major when you're making mistakes like that. And it was weird because man, she'd make a great shot, then all of a sudden it was just she'd make a mistake that was just uncharacteristic of
yeah,
Serena. But I mean, she's been off for a long time. I
yeah.
hope she still comes back and plays in some more stuff because I think she plays in a few tournaments that then she'll be if she stays healthy, she'll be right there with to do better in the next major.
Oh yeah,
I really think she could. She just it's hard to come back off a long layoff for one, but then to come back on a long layoff at Wimbledon
At Wimbledon. Yeah,
is even makes it even tougher. So
yeah,
I didn't think she played bad. I mean, she didn't have like a terrible showing. It wasn't like she just got killed. She was right in there and went to tie break. She just if she wouldn't have made some mistakes, she'd have won that match.
right. Yeah. So hopefully she plays in some tournaments here. I know the U.S. Open is the next major, so she's got about a month and a half because they usually do that during the they start towards the end of August, so it's enough time to get it's enough time to get her legs under her and everything, and wasn't a bad showing. It was just shocking, of course, when somebody like Serena loses in the first round. I know she's trying to break that record for the most career slams, so which I think she will still do it. It's just going to take a little bit longer than we all thought it was. But on the women's side, there's no real dominant player, so that definitely helps her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't have a Djokovic or anybody on the women's side right now.
Yeah. What happened to what's his name? Roger Federer. He doesn't play tennis no more? Because I haven't heard his name in a while. I was like, what happened to Roger Federer?
I don't know if he retired last season or man. I don't remember hearing that he retired though.
Yeah, it was. It's odd not seeing him, especially not seeing him. Wimbledon. It's kind of odd. Oh, how did he get a max deal?
I kind of thought that too.
Yeah.
But then I just went back to it's Minnesota.
Yeah, it's Minnesota. Yeah. Now he did. Now I will say, Carl. Now Anthony Towns did have some good playoff games against Memphis, but was he worthy of a max deal like what he got? No.
No, I wouldn't have signed him to a max deal either. But Roldis Chapman coming off the IL for the Yankees. That's good. That's even gonna give the Yankees more help.
Yep. Got their closer back.
Yeah, that's
100 miles an hour coming at you, boy.
Another guy that used to be a Cincinnati Red that we didn't pay and let go somewhere else and win. That's what he broke through with was the Reds, and they.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what else goes on in in free agency today. It's already starting to heat up a little bit. Pacers and Celtics done made a trade. So today's going to be another busy day, probably like it was yesterday.
Oh yeah. It'll be some more moves going on.
And there'll probably be a big free agent announcement on the 4th of July. It seems like we usually get that. That's when KD announced he was going to Golden State, like the 4th of July.
4th of July, yeah.
So,
now I was thinking of something the other day. I was listening to some, show. Who would win in a fight between Mike Tyson and Ali in their primes? And I was like, as good as Ali was, it's just something about Mike Tyson in his prime. Mike was knocking people out left and right.
Yes.
And not saying he would knock out Ali, but I feel like he would probably win that.
Man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's how I was saying. Because I was like, man, Ali is good, but there's like Mike Tyson be knocking people out though. So
I kind of lean toward Ali, but one of the reasons would be is cardio.
Yeah,
because I think the longer the fight went, I think Ali can make Tyson miss enough, and then the longer the fight went, I think Tyson will wear out before Ali did, and then Ali might be able to take over the fight.
Yeah, if it goes longer than 6, then Ali would definitely.
But Tyson always has that one punch knockout power as well, so it'd be one it would have been really interesting to get to see.
Man, that would have been good. Yep. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was just like, man, that would have been a good fight. He would
like the hell out of all these.
Can you believe that's been? I think that was the 25 years now since Mike Tyson bit Holyfield's ear or something like that. Yeah,
they said the Pacers are going after Ayton.
Oh,
that'd be a good.
Okay. All right, the Pacers trying to do something.
They're trying to make some moves.
All right, they're trying to make the playoffs.
Ali have speed, but once Tyson get you in the corner or in your face, his power will win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I can make an argument for both of them. So I'd be what would have loved to. It'd been great if they'd been in their primes at the same time and got to see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is hard to believe that's been that long ago since Tyson bit Holyfield.
Oh man, I was.
People were pissed. All the people paid $70, $80 for that paper.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. I remember I was 8 at the time when it happened, and it showed it on TV, and I was like, did he just bite this other dude's ear? like you couldn't believe, that this was happening, and it was crazy, and that was back when what's his name was reffing, Mills Lane. Lane was reffing, and it was crazy. It was great because before the bite he had headbutt him or did a punch below the belt or something.
Yeah.
And he did that a couple of times, and then Mills Lane was telling Mike, "Hey, chill. The next one, we're gonna have to, take some points."
Holyfield was piecing him up a little bit, and he panicked.
Yeah.
That was the first time he really was getting pieced up like that, and he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. Yeah. So
when Tyson lost his main trainer, that's when everything started to spiral for him.
yep.
Can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head now.
Teddy. What's his last name? Atlas, was Teddy Atlas his trainer?
Might have been. I can't remember, but I know he one of them guys. Once that guy passed away or he was gone, that's when Tyson's. It seemed like everything started spiraling for him.
Yeah.
He got around Don King. Don King took advantage of him.
Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely took advantage. Yeah.
Dude, for all the money that dude made, for him to go broke was just crazy.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, his career would have been longer. It seemed like after he bit Holyfield's ear, that was the beginning of the end of,
Yep.
What we knew of, Tyson. But when he was in his prime and he was out there doing it,
oh man, yeah,
them fights lasted 2 minutes, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to got hit by that man. I know that.
He has some power in his punches for sure.
and he's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Even the one fight he did, the celebrity thing
with Roy Jones.
Roy Jones, yeah, he was. I was like, well, Tyson looked good. I don't know about Roy Jones, but
Roy Jones was just trying to hug and get through the round.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like Tyson, he still, gets out there and, hits the bag a little bit still. And it looks like Roy Jones just kind of sits at home and chills. So
sits on the couch and watches boxing.
Yeah, right. But man, that would have been an awesome fight, Ali and Tyson.
It would have
been epic. Yeah.
Let me find this. Let me go back to this real quick. Because there's. My dad was talking about that list yesterday of the goats of each team.
Oh yeah, each football team. Yeah.
Did you see that list?
I have not seen it. I'm real interested to see who they got for the Chiefs.
All right, here it is. For the Chiefs, they have Tony Gonzalez.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I was gonna say if it's not him or Derek Thomas, then they need to redo that list.
They have Larry Fitzgerald for the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta Falcons, Julio Jones.
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Bills, Bruce Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Panthers, Steve Smith Sr.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears, Walter Payton.
Of course.
Cincinnati Bengals, Anthony Munoz.
Yeah, that's good. That's
good. Cleveland Browns, Jim Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys, Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt, there you go. Yeah.
Denver Broncos, John Elway.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit Lions, Barry Sanders. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh. over Brett Favre. Okay.
Okay. I was like, okay, but they both have what? Both have one Super Bowl.
They both got one, yeah. But at least Favre made a second one.
Yep, that's true.
He made a second one.
Houston Texans, J.J. Watt.
Okay.
Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning. Jacksonville Jaguars, Fred Taylor.
There, Fred Taylor, yes. Yep.
The Raiders, Marcus Allen.
Okay.
The Chargers, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yep.
The Rams, Aaron Donald.
Okay.
Miami Dolphins, Dan Marino.
Hmm.
Minnesota Vikings, Randy Moss.
Yep. Definitely.
New England Patriots, Tom Brady.
Hmm.
The Saints, Drew Brees.
Okay.
New York Giants, Lawrence Taylor.
Oh yeah.
New York Jets, Joe Namath.
Joe. Yeah. Okay.
Philadelphia Eagles, Reggie White.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Mean Joe Green.
Joe Green. Okay.
San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice.
Okay.
I was kind of surprised that people didn't have Montana
I was
in
gonna
there,
say.
but you can't argue with Rice either. So
Yeah. Jerry Rice is good. Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson.
Ooh. Over Richard Sherman and so nobody from that defense.
Well, and Anthony Price said it was either going to be Wilson or Wagner.
Okay, yeah.
So Wagner too, but they have. Then they have next was Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derek Brooks.
Yes. Yep.
Tennessee Titans, Warren Moon.
Yes, that's right. When they were in Houston, yeah.
Yep. And then the Washington football team, or Washington Commanders, excuse me, Darryl Green.
Yes, Darryl Green. Yes.
This was a list that was. This was a list that was. It was each NFL team's goats, and it was put out by FanDuel.
Okay. That's a pretty good list. I don't really,
There wasn't too many on there that I really thought was. Like I said, the Green Bay one, I thought, yeah, you could go almost either way with Rodgers or Favre.
Mm-hmm.
49ers, I just think they've had there's been some different great players there, so it could be a close one. But like I said, can't argue with Jerry Rice either. I was just a big Joe Montana fan.
Joe, yeah. Man, he did. He got them to their first Super Bowl.
Yeah. Hasselbeck had some good seasons in Seattle.
Yeah, very good. Mike Holmgren changed Matt Hasselbeck's career.
Damien said John Madden should be the GOAT for the Raiders.
He won. It was just the one Super Bowl, right? It wasn't two of them.
I think it was just one.
It was just one. Yeah. You could say he's one of the greatest coaches the Raiders have had for sure. Yeah, John Madden was a very good coach. Flores was too for the Raiders. They won a Super Bowl with him as well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a pretty good list. I was kind of surprised because most of those lists you'll see people on there and you're like, come on, really?
Yeah. This was a pretty good list.
LT was good for the Giants, but I'll put Michael Strahan. Strahan was good too.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Strahan was good. Lawrence Taylor was just one of those linebackers. He was kind of the first where quarterbacks feared him. Anytime they would line up, they would say, "Okay, where's 56? Where's 56?" So he was the first, pass rusher that quarterbacks really feared, like that. And then after that, you had your Derek Thomas, and you had your Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and things like that. But he was the first of the Lawrence Taylor was the first of the pass rushers that quarterbacks really feared. Yeah.
Now, come on, David. We can't make him the GOAT in both places.
He was the best they had. I was happy he didn't get, he didn't make the Super Bowl down there, but I was happy he did get that playoff win though. Yeah.
I mean, I can understand his argument though for Tony Gonzalez in Atlanta. Julio Jones, I don't really argue with that either. So, who was the Bears? It was
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
Yeah. Oh, Walter. I mean, there's nobody else unless you're going to put Fridge up there or Richard Dent or somebody. But
you're not going to put up one of the great Bears quarterbacks,
right? Jim McMahon was their best quarterback.
I'm sorry if Jim McMahon's your best quarterback in your team's history. There's a problem. There's a problem there.
There's a problem.
And no disrespect to Jim McMahon.
Right,
He's a Super Bowl champion.
Jim McMahon, boy, that's the Bears' best quarterback right there.
Those sunglasses, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that 85 Bears team was a hoot. Super Bowl shuffle and all that stuff that came out of that. That's my buddy.
And that Super Bowl shuffle came out during the season. They didn't do that after the one. That was during the season.
A buddy of mine, he's a big Bears fan. He actually has the Super Bowl shuffle on a vinyl record.
Oh, okay.
I went over his house. He said, I'm gonna turn on some music. That's all right. Next time I know he's playing the Super Bowl shuffle. I just start cracking up. What's dude?
Yeah, one of the greatest teams.
Mongo, Fridge, Peyton, even Gale.
Yeah, Gale. Yeah.
Anthony Price said he was going to say Brian Urlacher.
Oh yeah, he was. Brian Urlacher's definitely.
he was definitely good.
Yeah.
And he was one of them dudes that some of the offenses feared that dude.
Oh yeah.
You didn't want that dude lined up on the other side of you.
Brian Urlacher, where is 54? Where is 54?
I mean, Bears have always been great on always had a lot of great defensive players, but for some reason they haven't been able to get that great quarterback.
Yeah. Well, if they would have drafted Patrick Mahomes, they would have had. Thank y'all for not drafting Patrick Mahomes, Chicago. I love y'all for that.
Greg sends Bears fans thank you cards at Christmas time.
Yeah. Thank y'all for not drafting Patrick Mahomes. Yes. Which is kind of the opposite. It's weird how things work because, going back in the day, the whole Sam Bowie and Michael Jordan thing. So now for Chicago to be on the other side of that where it's the Chiefs getting Patrick Mahomes and they got Mitchell Trubisky. So
and Charger fans are thinking Dolphin fans every year for Dolphins taking Tua and not Herbert.
Yeah, not Herbert. Yeah. Thank y'all for doing that.
Because that GM of the Chargers, he's came out and said that they felt good about either one of them.
Right. Yeah, they were going to pick either one. I didn't know Justin Herbert was going to be this good. I honestly did not.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say I thought he was going to be this good. I thought he was going to be good, but to be especially as quick as he has been.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never sold on Tua. I wasn't a big Tua fan in college.
Yeah. It's hard with quarterbacks in Bama because you don't know if it's the system making them good or if it's really them. So
and that's what scared me with Tua because you could tell he didn't have the strongest arm. But you're throwing the 5-star players, and you got a 5-star offensive line. Greg, I hope Tua and Hill does better than Mahomes and Juju. Sorry,
They won't. They won't. Tyreek Hill gonna miss Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, excuse me. Not only that, I just don't think Tyreek Hill's a good fit for. He's not a good fit for the style of quarterback that Tua is.
No, not for that. Not for that system.
Tyreek Hill's he's good at going deep, and he's good when the play breaks down.
Yeah.
And he just lost one of the best quarterbacks there is when the play breaks down.
Yep.
And you're going to a guy that is not good when the play breaks down. And he don't have a big arm to be throwing the ball deep. And that's two things that Tyreek Hill does.
Yeah. And now, unless Tyreek Hill, all of a sudden he's become a better route runner over the off season. But minus that, he's gonna miss Patrick.
I just didn't know, like when that happened. I was like, that don't even make sense for the Dolphins. There was better receivers. I'm not going to say that like better receivers than Hill, but receivers that fit Miami better than what Hill did.
Now Hill would have been better. Honestly, it sounds crazy when I'm about to say this, but he would have been better off going to the Jets because at least Zach Wilson has an arm to get him the ball. So that would have worked out better.
Or if he went to like the Packers.
Oh yeah, Rodgers. Yeah,
that would make sense because Rodgers is good at after a play breaks down. You know what I mean? And he has a good arm.
Yeah.
Which the Packers would never do that because I think they don't want no first or second round offensive weapons.
All right. True. But I feel like, and we'll talk a little about this tomorrow on the Red Kingdom show. I believe Patrick Mahomes is going to make Juju a Pro Bowl player this season coming up. I think Juju is going to have one of his best seasons.
If you keep him bought in and not worried about TikTok and out there doing dances right before the ball snapped and shit.
Right, yeah. I think him and Andy have already had that talk about TikToks and stuff. So, but man, Juju, he's gonna make people realize that his numbers going down, it had less to do with him and more with Big Ben being older and not being able to get him the ball like he once was.
Yeah. No, I think that was a lot of it. I really do. And I think Pittsburgh gave up on Juju a little too quick, but
yeah. We are happy to have him here. Happy to have him here.
Well, all right. You have anything else before we get out of here for the weekend?
Man, everybody have a great holiday weekend. I know I will because I'm not going to work. So, but man, everybody have a good, holiday break. We're almost to football season. We got another month, and then we'll get some preseason games. So, and tune in to Red Kingdom tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. We will be talking about the Chiefs challengers in the West, and we'll start with the Chargers this week. So we'll be breaking that down.
All right, and that's here on the ASAP.
Yes, on ASAP. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing. Everybody have a great weekend, great holiday weekend. Stay safe.
Yes.
Don't
be safe.
If you're enjoying some adult beverages, don't drive.
Yes.
Be careful. If you're lighting off fireworks, be careful with them things because every year it seems like you hear about people blowing themselves or blowing their fingers off or something with the firework.
When it's lit, get it out of your hand. Do not hold on. Don't hold on to it. Get it out.
Or if you like one and it don't go off, don't go pick it up.
Right, exactly.
But no, probably since Monday's the 4th, I guess we'll be back on Tuesday, I would assume.
Yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. I can answer Damien's question real quick before we
okay, yeah.
up here.
What was it?
The Chiefs win it this season. Does the enemy still have a shot at a head coach job? Okay, well, if they end up winning it all, it of course is going to make his stock, even higher than what it is now. The only thing about EB is the rumors about him kind of getting into it with Patrick, in some games, and then what LaShawn McCoy said in one of the podcasts about how he didn't go back to the Chiefs the year after they won the Super Bowl because of how Eric Bieniemy talks to the players. Those two things definitely hurt his chances. But I still feel like eventually somebody is going to give Eric Bieniemy his chance. So you win the Super Bowl. I think this is his last year either way, whether they win it or not. But especially if they win, it makes Bieniemy stock go back high or even higher than what it is now.
Well, and if you win a Super Bowl, people forget about a lot of other things when you win that. Right after you win that Super Bowl, so
people do forget.
I think that would I think that would help. I think he'll eventually get a job. I do think it is hurting with some of the reports from players and stuff that's came out about him. And of course, also people also use the thing that who's really calling the plays, him or Reed.
All right, yeah,
and all that. But I think a lot of it's just been his communication with players must not be great.
Yeah,
and maybe that comes through during some of the interviews or after the interviews. Maybe they talk to some of the players, and but I mean, winning covers up a lot. So
yes, it does.
So I would say I would think he'll get a chance. Plus, there's not a whole lot of real young, promising coaching candidates that I can think you can really think of off the top of your head right now that are going to be moving up as well. So, so some of these guys are going to have to get chances.
Yeah, definitely. His chance will come. Him being able to communicate better with the players, I think that'll come with time. I think maybe he learned from those situations, and to know that you don't have to be angry and be barking at people and doing all that. You don't. That's
and not making an excuse for Bieniemy.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the style. That's the style of the league that he came up in.
Right. That he grew up in. Right.
That was the style. That's how coaches were. So you know what I mean. So that's why he knows. So as hopefully he'll be able to evolve with, because I mean things have changed.
Yeah.
But I understand why he's like that, because hey, that's how he got coached. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Definitely a Belichick style of coaching for sure.
Ravens. Oh. Wow, that sucks. I hadn't seen that come by yet or come up on the TV yet.
Yeah, well, bless his family in that situation. That's really tough.
Yes. Man, it sucks. It sucks that 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 guys get all this money and stuff, and then they still can get into problems like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know how you I don't know how you make it better. They need to change something to try to help these guys that get a bunch of money at one time and kind of help them to what they should do and how to help try to keep themselves out of trouble.
Yeah. Those classes, I know they usually do it for the rookies coming in. They have the symposium, what to do, what not to do. But also, I feel like you need to keep that going for the guys that have been, in the league. They should have some of those classes too. So
yeah, at least maybe like once a season, even if it's once a season or something.
Yeah, because you never know what people are, dealing with. So just let them know that there's other options out there besides, doing stuff that they shouldn't be.
All right, you got any other final thoughts before we get out of here for the big holiday weekend?
That is it for me. We'll see how the free agency goes for the rest of the weekend. See where everybody ends up.
Oh yeah, I would say a lot more stuff's going to be coming out today. Also, at around 4:30 today. It's usually at 3, but we moved it back to 4:30. Easy Money, a sports betting show. But we're going. Pride's going to be joining me, and we're going to do a UFC 276 preview and prediction show for the big UFC pay-per-view tomorrow night. So join us at 4:30 today here on the ASAP Sports Network and on the Gonzo Sports Room YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. If you're a fight fan, come join us. You won't want to miss the preview and prediction show for that. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys Tuesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Stay safe this weekend.
Yes.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.